CMMS Radio talks about all things CMMS, computerized maintenance management software, focused on maintenance management. It's the people, the process, and the culture that make your CMMS journey a success. All right, today we are meeting with Dave Lubach. He is chief editor at Trade Press Group, and we're talking about NFMT East. That's the National Facilities Management and Technology Trade Show. It's happening March 10th through 12th, 2026 at the Charlotte Convention Center. Amazing venue. It's in Charlotte, North Carolina, obviously. And for anybody that wants to get in on this and attend, visit nfmt.com/east/2026 and use code FRIENDOFNFMT3 and you'll get $50 off on the all access fee for this amazing conference. I've gone to several of them in kind of my past life when I was in the CMMS space myself, mostly in Vegas. And Dave, welcome to CMMS Radio.
Thank you. Honored to make my debut on CMMS Radio. Thanks for having me, Craig.
Yeah, no, it's for me, this is fun because I get to do a couple of things. One, I get to help promote the show, one that I like, that I've been to. And I've always liked the NFMT format. I've had amazing conversations when I go to an event. None of the pretentious kind of stuff you might see at some of the other conferences, and Vegas, always fun to go to Vegas. But a quick question I have for you is about how you got involved in the first place, because you've been in operations, you've been in trade press, you've done those things, but now for a bit now, you've been here at Trade Press Group. So tell me a little bit about how you got into it, how you got brought on.
Well, my career actually in editing and writing and things goes back to the 1990s when I was a sports writer at a local sports department here in Wisconsin, in a city called Sheboygan. I'm not sure if your listeners would know where that is, but a little bit north of Milwaukee. But the path winded around and took me back down here in 2012, where I started with one of our magazines, Facility Maintenance Decisions, which was kind of more focused on the maintenance and engineering aspect of facilities management, more of those, day-to-day types that are out there on the front line, making the decisions on building operating management or, building automation, grounds crews, repairs, making more day-to-day decisions. Left the company for a little while in 2016, came back in 2021 to a different position, and where it was a kind of a hybrid of our magazine with FMD, our magazine with building operating management, and our website, Facilities Network. And now we're, not that we weren't one big family before, but we're all kind of together now. We all work together. We have 4 editors on our team. I'm the chief editor of the staff, and we all contribute to all the magazines. And our involvement with NFMT goes back to the beginning of the show, where it was 25 years ago. We'd been in Baltimore all the years except for COVID. There were a couple of years where the show just didn't exist. I mean, COVID came on right about the time the show was supposed to go. So that year we didn't do it. Obviously, I was not here at that time. But our editors, our staff works really closely with the NFMT education team in building the content that we present to our attendees at these shows. So we have over 65 education sessions that our attendees can choose from a selection of, you name it, the topics in the facilities world. And we try to get a lot of our readers, our end users, to do presentations there. And I think we have a really good mix of those this year, in addition to consultants. You'll hear a few, providers, service providers and such. So it's a good mix of education if you're looking there to, expand, get continuing education and just, learn from your peers. And obviously we have other features at the show, which I'm sure we'll talk about here as we go on.
Absolutely. Well, one thing, so definitely goes back to 2001 when the NFMT show really started, and I'll just call it the NFMT show. And it was, the premier event was always in Baltimore, and then on the West Coast, it tended to be Las Vegas, which I know that's happening later this year. We'll talk about that in just a second. So there's this rich history. It's 25 years, and now it's moving to Charlotte, North Carolina. So why Charlotte? Was there a reason and kind of methodology behind that?
I think it was really, Greg, just an opportunity to find a different market and maybe see a different group of people who, maybe would like to have gone to shows prior, but just, maybe travel or whatever reason, just wanted to, couldn't make it that far. And I know there's, considering the size of America, Baltimore to Charlotte isn't that drastic of a difference, but just a, different opportunity. We've seen that people, you look at a lot of trade shows and they're always on the road. They have some kind of a rotation. They don't want to stay in the same place because you don't want your attendees to think, all right, well, I'm going to go to the show and I'm going to enjoy it, but I want to experience maybe some different restaurants, or I want to bring the family along and we want to experience, what else the city has to offer. Charlotte being one of those, they say red hot cities that everybody's moving to. I thought this would be a nice option for our first kind of branch out for this main show. And, as you mentioned, our spring show has always been in Baltimore since 2001. The fall show is alternated between Orlando and Vegas. And I'm not exactly sure when that started. It hasn't been that long in existence, but at least 10 or 15 years or so, at least, probably more, definitely more. But that one's alternated too. And I think it's just an opportunity to give, our readers and people who attend just a different place to be and see if, obviously I think it'll be a little different crowd. And we go to Baltimore, obviously you're in the DC area, you see a lot of government facilities people. So you're getting a lot of the federal government, lots of, schools and colleges. I mean, there's tons of them. They're not that are not in Charlotte, but Charlotte offers a little bit of a different market. I think there's a lot of healthcare, a lot of tech. I mean, and that's reflected in our sessions. I mean, you'll find a lot on like AI and software and CMMS, both on the expo hall and in our education sessions. So I like to think that the shows kind of reflect a little bit of where we're at and what we're representing. As a bonus is our opening night, welcoming party is going to be at the NASCAR Hall of Fame. So you get a chance. Yeah. I mean, you get a chance to, check out the Hall of Fame there and all the things they've got going on. I've never been, but I've been to Daytona, and it's an impressive thing. And this is their home course, or I guess so to speak, if you're looking at golf terms. And so, great opportunity to experience that. We also have we're working on some tours of some of the bigger facilities and things down in Charlotte. We just confirmed that Bank of America Stadium, home of the Panthers, we're going to have a tour available for people who'd like to do that, a behind the scenes tour, not the one that you're going to get probably when you go in as a regular fan and want to check out the stadiums. You're going to hopefully take you behind the scenes and see some of those systems that facilities people get really excited about, and just lots of opportunities there beyond your education sessions and obviously networking sessions and, expo hall opportunities where you can speak with vendors and suppliers from the facilities market. I mean, you name it, technology, software, AI, building management, grounds products. I mean, you name it. There's a great mix of suppliers amongst the 300 presenter or 300 booths that we'll have down there, and companies that are there for you.
And some of the speakers that are, for me, real deal pros, practitioners with all the experience around the world, across the United States and North America, whatever you want to call that. Andy Gager is one that always he's an attraction because the way he presents and what he presents and how you can make that actionable is really amazing. I'm not sure if for this year's event, David Trask will be doing any presentations, but I know he's involved with NFMT heavily and has been for a long time. Awesome. He's with ARC Facilities, and that's another person you want to talk to. And there's going to be a plethora of not just CMMS providers there, but other related technologies, like you mentioned, things that kind of relate to all aspects of both facilities management, facilities maintenance. That trails into asset management. It's not just those technologies, but the perspectives on how to figure out what you really need. Or maybe you don't need the technology. Maybe you need the guidance from service providers, people that do consult, as you mentioned, or some of the secondary and tertiary technologies. So it's going to be fun. And real quick on Vegas, everyone, uh, NFT, NFMT West is going to be November 3rd and 4th in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I believe you can use the same discount code friend of NFMT3 to secure that $50 off on the all access fee. And we'll have more updates about that later. But
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure on that yet. We haven't opened registration yet for NFMT West, but yeah, and you can expect a lot of the same features and things that we do at NFMT East. Now it's now no longer NFMT just solo. We NFMT East, NFMT West, just
yeah,
to clear that up. But yeah, we still do a lot of the same things at NFMT West that we provide at this show. You'll see probably a little more of a kind of a Vegas theme, Southwest America theme
yeah,
in terms of the sessions that we offer, and some of the specialties. A Vegas style welcoming party probably would be appropriate.
yeah.
I can't say officially what that entails yet, but yeah, we like I said earlier, we try to match the shows a little bit with the personality of the cities and the themes of things that are popular and hot with our readers right now. I mean, obviously tech is very high. CMMS, AI, building management systems, things like that are really things that our readers are looking for and want help with, and guidance and information on where we want to go. And we like to think that this show can give that to them.
Yeah, and it's kind of a constant. It's a thing that is always there. This is why a show like this can continue to thrive and exist over all these years, because everybody needs help. And when I look at the industry, and look, I'm no absolute authority or anything like that, but generally speaking, with the time I spent working with people and the things we talk about on CMMSradio and the things you, me, and everybody else talk about when we're not recording or anything like that, we understand that there's a lot that needs to be done, and really kind of we need to remind ourselves of what's available in both the technology, how, when, and why to use it, and how to get ready for it, to know what your readiness is. So you get this convergence of all these different people. It's the experts that are there that can help talk you through it, whether it is the exhibit hall. And I want to ask about one of the features that I always enjoyed so much about NFMT when I attended in the past is, are there still the roundtable type sessions where people get an opportunity to get together? I remember there would be, 8 to 10 people at a round table, just trading ideas, talking about challenges and problems. Is there going to be anything like that at NFMT East?
Yeah. So as part of our education program, we have there's a couple options that you can do that. So we have, as part of our education program, we call them FM Huddles. So we've picked out five content type topics that our readers, and I should also add, our cleaning team is also involved in this. So it's Clean Buildings Conference as well. So
Nice.
if you're interested in cleaning materials and cleaning education sessions and things, please come for that as well. And the shows are together as one. So you get one, you get the other. Myself and our cleaning editor, Corinne, we've come together with a couple, like 5 ideas for these huddles that kind of cross paths with just about anything in facilities management. I mean, we're going to talk about gives our readers opportunities to talk about budgeting, gives a talk about hiring, how to handle, not, I shouldn't say handle, but how to work with the younger generation. What are they looking for? Because they're obviously they're looking a lot at their jobs a lot different than some of us in the older set have been in the past. So the huddles are more kind of like big question, kind of 50,000 foot issues. Everybody's really got probably has some questions with some concerns and wants some help on, and they want to know, what's the FM down the hall doing, and why are they successful, and what, a little bit of brainstorming and things like that. So
Yeah.
it really gives them an opportunity to do that. There's opportunities on the expo floor where we have editor-led sessions called Show Central, where we're bringing in some of these same presenters and maybe doing a little bit of a deeper dive into a session that they gave or something along those lines, and more of a one-on-one opportunities to discuss topics that are going on in the facility management world. So yeah, there's lots of opportunities for attendees to attend huddles, to do networks, to chat with the guy or woman that's in the same, if you're a K-12 and there's another K-12 person there, talk about, what's working for you, what isn't working for you, and
Yeah.
Troubleshooting things. And I think that's the best part of the shows, I think. And personally, the thing I know that we as editors really enjoy, that opportunity to chat with the readers and the people that are reading our publications and reading our articles, seeing our videos, listening to webcasts and things like that, just to kind of, for us to get a feel of what they're concerned about and what's important for them.
Absolutely. Well, the whole concept here is to keep a constant finger on the pulse of the industry. What are people struggling with? What are people succeeding with? And then you get all of these people in an environment where they can collaborate, trade war stories, if you will. Maybe they have something similar. Maybe it's something completely unique, and it gives somebody an idea. I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at whether or not that would make a difference. And when you talk about the clean building side of it and what a critical part of facilities management that really is, it's important when, some of the young up and comers, and then you get kind of the old heads that have been there, done that. You get them kind of talking and communicating. They're going to be pretty strong on the technology side, and then they can gain or improve. They may or may not already know these things, but how we look at, develop process, strategy. How do we implement it? What do we do? How have you been doing your facility walkdowns? Where do you start? How do you decide where to start? Why did you start there versus over here? Why did you start with the assets rather than the areas? All those things are really valuable for people to think and get the right ideas and then land on these strategies. That's the whole point. And I'm excited about it. I'm excited to come out there and meet some people and do a few, maybe floor walks of the event, get some good conversations going, all that kind of stuff. So I want to switch you now in the interest of time. We don't want to keep you all day from getting everything set up, but I want to switch you into what we call the fun questions segment.
Okay.
On CMMS radio. And that's kind of a first timers have to suffer through it.
Okay.
And there's no trick questions. There are no wrong answers on any of these. This is just for us to have a little bit of fun and kind of get to know you. So the first fun question is, what is your favorite music?
My favorite music, I'm going to have to go with, it sometimes changes, but right now I'm going to have to go with yacht rock. It's just fun. It's just something you go out there. It's kind of more of a funny kind of thing. And if it's not yacht rock, it's probably 80s.
All right.
Born in went to high school, graduated in the late 80s. And, that's kind of the wheelhouse for music. So,
yeah.
Bring on the Bon Jovi, bring on the, Hall & Oates a little bit younger than that. But yeah, anything kind of from the 80s. If I have Sirius XM on, I'm probably have the 80s on 8 channel on. So.
That works, man. All right. Second fun question is, what is your favorite sport or hobby? And on sport, it doesn't have to be one that you play. It could be one you just like to cheer for.
Sport I like to play, I'd probably have to say golf, although I don't know, recently it seems like I've become a better bowler than I am a golfer, but grew up as a golf caddy, went to school on a caddy scholarship. Golf's meant a lot to me, like personally and professionally in that aspect. So kind of one of those games you're always constantly chasing perfection. It's a game you can always get better at. So very frustrating, but that's probably the one I like to play. Sport to watch, it's probably, I know football is kind of the cliche thing to say, but baseball to me is, I don't know, something about baseball. Like right now I'm waiting, just kind of waiting for baseball season to start. I mean, I live in Wisconsin, so everybody's a huge Packer fan. Packers are a big, you're born a Packer fan, and you never move. You probably are going to die a Packer fan. So, follow that too, obviously. But there's a kind of a small spot in the heart for baseball and Milwaukee Brewers baseball in particular. So,
all right. Here's the big one. No wrong answers. What is your perspective, philosophy, approach? Is it even a thing when it comes to this concept of work-life balance?
I think you have to have that 50-50, maybe not 50-50, but you can't, I don't, I believe in working hard, but I don't believe in also, working yourself to the bone, or, where you're going to spend 24 hours of your life just doing nothing without enjoying yourself. There's a big world out there. There's a lot of things to see, a lot of things to do. Obviously you need to work to make the money to do a lot of those things. And I like to think I have a pretty good balance with that. The people that I manage, I encourage them, and my boss who gave me, I was just recently promoted. My boss who gave me my job is also one of those guys, and I kind of learned that from him, where it's like, you know what, you got that PTO, take it. If you got something to do with your family or your friends, or you have a child that, excuse me, has that game, go watch it. Your job's always going to be here for you as long as you're working on it and you're doing your job. So find that balance. I know one of the things for me, like I probably travel for trade shows 5 to 6 times a year, something like that. And I'm not really a resolution guy, but I've kind of made a resolution where, you know what, if I'm gone somewhere for, 3-4 days for a show, or 2-3 days, depending on what's going on, I may just take that extra day, just to explore the city, see what a city you've never been to before, or a city, like going to Washington, D.C., and you go for a show. It's like, it'd be a shame not to go and, spend a day walking the monuments, or going to Arlington, or, taking in some of the history that's there. You could go that city, 10 times for something, and probably still find another, 20 or 30 things that you'd really like to see and check out. So yeah, life balance is good there. Work hard, but, find time for play as well.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. No wrong answers, because we just want to think about this stuff, get people thinking, and each of us have to approach it in our own unique way. There's a lot of different ways to look at that and maintain that. Doesn't matter if it's a thing or not. We just want to hear what you think about it. I like what you mentioned about when you go to these conferences, trade shows, if you can add that extra day. Thinking of you and what you just answered on this segment,
Mm-hmm.
it's a good time to maybe go play some golf in a place you haven't played, or a place you haven't been back to for a while. Maybe right now, if you're in Wisconsin and you ended up at an event out on the West Coast, you could sneak in some golf. Right now, you're not going to do a great job of that in Wisconsin, but that's good stuff. Now, I want to make sure everybody knows before we wrap up here, when it comes to NFMT East, I want to remind you about the discount. The code is friend of NFMT3. That's going to get you $50 off on the all access fee. You can visit nfmt.com/east/2026, or go to nfmt.com and you can see all the things that they do, and, check it out, get yourself there. Any last parting words that you want people to know about NFMT East?
Well, first off, Greg, appreciate the opportunity to one, be on our podcast to talk a little bit about it, and as well also your efforts to help promote the show. If hopefully everybody here decides to register and come on down, and if you do, I said please do stop and look for me down on the expo hall. We've got an area where the editors hang out. It's called the Show Central area, where we'll do some presentations. We do some, we're just kind of there to answer questions and things. I would love to meet everybody, and introduce ourselves to our readers, and kind of see, we like to meet the people who read the book, and the people who read our books and attend the shows, and would love to come down and say hi, and again take advantage of this. It's a great learning opportunities, I think. And as Greg said, as somebody who's attended it before as an attendee, and is not as an employee, that's the best kind of endorsement that we can get, that people are coming back to enjoy it. So yeah, hope to see everybody there. I think it's going to be a great show. We're really excited to be in a new venue, and having some new things for our attendees, and hope to see you there.
Yeah, it's and for everyone that goes, I want to add one last point, and that is strike up lots of conversations, ask lots of questions. Don't worry about being right or wrong. Just get those dialogues going, because the side conversations that happen are really incredible. That has been my experience. I get to talk to people that go to it every year. I just don't talk about it very much on the podcast. So to close out, Dave Lubach, thank you for being on CMMS Radio.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for having me.
You got it. Did you find this episode helpful? Please send us some feedback, suggest a topic, or ask a question. Reach out to CMMS Radio if you need a co-pilot on your CMMS project. Visit CMMSradio.com and use the What's on Your Mind link. Thank you for tuning in to CMMS Radio, your resource for all things CMMS, from selection to implementation, to help you make better choices, learn from industry experts, and have a successful CMMS journey.